All right, let's move on now to the final email of the day.
Okay, last email, Rob Bifo says, John, in a recent interview with Entertainment Tonight, Sam Jackson stated that Captain Mar-vell is pretty much the strongest character, and she's one of the few people in the MCU who can time travel.
What?
Important to note that within the context of the statement, he was referring to the Avengers and how they need someone as powerful as Thanos. What are your thoughts on this potential spoiler and the overall inclusion of time travel now being a part of Captain Mar-vell's abilities with the MCU?
All right. This is one of those hold the phone moments. Wait, what? Captain Mar-vell is a time traveler? It's like, look, I will confess, I've read a bunch of Captain Mar-vell. I've not read everything Captain Mar-vell. I just haven't. I don't recall time travel being part of the repertoire of like one of her innate powers, Robert, and all this kind of stuff. Now, just so we're clear, let's take a look at Samuel L. Jackson's specific comment. This is specifically what Samuel L. Jackson said, and we'll read this at length because there's a lot in here. Pardon me. Samuel L. Jackson said, she's pretty much the strongest character, which Kevin Feige's kind of suggested before, in terms of someone with powers are able to do things in the Marvel Universe. So for Carol Danvers to be that person and for Brie to become that person, it's going to be a dynamite thing. I mean, the Avengers are up against some really, really tough odds right now. We saw throughout Infinity War. So now we know that we need something that's as powerful as Thanos. And at some point, we'll find out how powerful she is and all the things that she's capable of. And then here comes the money shot, ladies and gentlemen. She's one of the few people in the Marvel Universe that can time travel. That, of course, comes from Samuel L. Jackson. Now, a lot of people, Robert, have been speculating that time travel is going to be a key element, maybe, of the next Avengers movie, of Endgame. Did Samuel L. Jackson just tip the pot and let us know about how that, like, I think we've all kind of assumed Captain Mar-vell was going to be a key figure in Avengers Endgame, but this key? Like, was his pager not just sending out a message at the end of Infinity War across the cosmos, but across time itself? To tell Carol Danvers, like, what's going on here? You read this, how do you react?
Okay, here's the thing. Never trust actors, first of all. Never trust what actors work on movies the least. By the way, Sam Jackson just celebrated his 70th birthday this past week.
Holy
70 years
crap.
old. He is one, well, you can't see it now, but I won't say it. But he is. And look, I think that there are probably certain, I think time travel is involved somehow in Avengers Endgame.
A lot of people do.
And I think that going, if it is true that you have to go through the quantum realm to time travel, I think there's only a few people in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that have the physical ability to travel through time. I mean, Scott Lang can because he has the suit.
Right.
Captain Mar-vell, I'll bet, can survive the rigors of whatever kind of time travel is involved in this movie because she's so powerful. I don't think everybody could. I don't think Black Widow could time travel because she's just a human. Maybe Captain America could because he's a super soldier. I think what Sam Jackson was referring to is the fact that she doesn't have innate time travel abilities. I think she's probably one of the only people in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that can time travel without being killed. That's what I would imagine.
Interesting. I just, again, I love what you said. Never trust actors. And you're right. They are the ones who work on a movie the least. Out of everybody who works on a movie, they work on it the least. And that's actually a really great observation. But Sam Jackson does seem to phrase this in the terms of she has this power, that she can time travel. And I don't know if that's something that becomes revealed later in the movie. And by the way, there's a very strong possibility here, you're absolutely right, that Sam Jackson is speaking out of his ass. He could totally be saying things purposely to throw people off and blah, blah, and get, naive people like me into a tizzy of going, wait a minute, what does that mean?
Right.
That she's able to time travel. Like, does this kind of explain everything that we're going to get into when it comes down to Avengers Endgame or not? And even if not, how does something like that play into Captain Mar-vell itself? Does time travel become an element and a key part of the plot and the narrative in Captain Mar-vell itself? But again, Rob, I can't think of any reference ever in any of the comics, and you've read more of them than I have, that suggests that she had any kind of ability like that.
No.
Has she ever done any like quantum realm traveling or anything like that where she was displaced in time?
Her character has gone through many different changes. And
right.
indeed
And iterations.
has been through many iterations. And again, off the top of my head, I've been reading a lot of the stuff of the last 5 or 6 years, but I don't recall her having innate time travel abilities. She's not like Kang the Conqueror or somebody like
Right.
that. But you never know what they've done.
Yeah, so
Maybe Sam does know something that we don't.
it's not like they stay completely to canon with the abilities
No.
of all the characters in the MCU. Maybe this is a new one, or then again, maybe it's just Samuel L. Jackson throwing us all off.
I mean,
the trail.
Superman's a time traveler. He can travel back in time. In the first Superman movie, he spun the
Oh,
world back.
that's right.
He
He
didn't
spun
really spin the world back. He traveled through time. They just used the world spinning backwards as a representation of Superman going through time because he was flying so fast.
Right, because if he actually did that, the planet would have ripped into 1,000 pieces.
Right.
Yes.
Which I always hate. People are like, he spun the world back. No, that was just a visual representation.
Science, ladies and gentlemen, science.